are these people?
All right. So this is exciting. I'm really excited about this one. Some of you might recall the subtitle for the song Convention as Jesse, Jett, and the Cursed Medallion. And I have a line in there that says, I'm here to tell you the spirit of Biden exists in a cursed medallion that rose out of hell like smoke in the form of 1,000 stallions. I originally was going to have another piece on the record that expanded on that idea and was all about this artifact that we had, this amulet the government was in possession of that had this horrible dark power. And we broke it off into pieces, and those have been put into different political figures to extend their lives. One was in Kissinger, one was in Cheney's pacemaker, one was in Joe Biden. And I just never, the more I wrote other stuff for Inauguration Gift, I was like, I'll do that another time. I'll come back to that. And here we are. It's been 3 years now, and almost 3 years since Inauguration Gift. And I was like, you know what? I'd love to revisit that idea. So I did. So here it is. This is Jesse, Jett, and the Return of the Cursed Medallion.
Okay.
Carved upon a marble altar, somewhere in a lab, are runes that match an amulet upon an onyx slab. Doctor in a white coat, garbed in olive drab. Kissinger, unconscious, but as Providence would have, when the doctor stands beside him and he holds out the medallion, unconsciously, instinctively, he reaches up and grabs. Deep inside a black site that is right beneath our streets, the sacrifice was made by which they demonized our speech. The roots that fed the tree of life decayed beneath our feet, and its sap was a suspension for a small medallion piece. As the doctor starts to sway a bit, he takes the vial and places it inside of Cheney's heart that it might never cease to beat. And I wish it wasn't so, but no, the final piece to mention is the one that fueled our overlord's unholiest ascension, that affords him zero comment on the char and the distension on the bodies in Lahaina, or the growing sickly stench of every Black Rock vulture gathered for what Biden paid as rent on the medallion shard they gave him on the eve of the convention. He had seen its strength extend the life of all his favorite vermin, and the peace that he inherited had come from Father Thurmond, another artifact he had been gifted by the Germans to see one's will made manifest, one's destiny determined. A note attached read all our best, Werner, Fritz, and Hermann. May you marinate in Wehrmacht that ferments behind the curtains. Now here we are today, and Biden keeps it on his person, if Biden's what you'd even call a person. The curse is something ancient. It is raw abortifacient that they shoveled down the throats of those who built and birthed a nation. It is fused into those corpses funding war on all occasions, and it's all that's keeping Feinstein from a state of vegetation. It is carried by the Senate doctors, whispered by the nurses. It's a perk to keep you perky for your centuries of service. It's the concentrated evil that's been powering our purges, coaxing every coup along, the dogs and drones and dirges, the nations we have raped because they would not consent to purchase. It pries our leaders' eyes awake and drives our country's urges to the darkest point where human hope and human truth converges. So look in Biden's eyes and see the rush on which he surges is the same that lit the flame that burned your churches. And those flames have had their day to see the vessels burned away, but the medallion, unscathed, always emerges. For as election season licks its lips and smells its purpose, there at once appears a motorcade of hearses. The calling of the pit like a liturgical insurgent, skinning off a sermon from the verses. He clutches a medallion of which he is just a servant, falling down a path with no divergence. Some people wonder loudly just how low a man can go. Well, somewhere in a lab they've logged effects of pure immersion. How long can someone lay upon that ancient onyx slab before rising up a wholly different person? How blackened can one be within the ink of human greed before their voters start to see a different version? How corrupted from within before you see it in their skin? How blighted till it rises to the surface? Until it bleeds into your eye, or you stand from time to time, staring off into the press like they were comets in the skies? How long until your arteries start clogging up with flies? How long till child labor phantoms haunt you in the night? How long has the medallion been deciding who survives and how long till it demands a higher price? That's a wrap.